Flyover state of film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
What's going on, guys? Flyover State of Film, episode 29.
Did you count in your head? Did you stop counting and you counted in your head?
Yeah, well, I can only get up to like 3.
Don't say 2. Haven't you ever seen Wayne's World? You don't say 2 or 1, man.
3.
But he didn't do them. All right, go ahead.
Okay, well,
Flyover State of Film, episode 29. I'm here with my guys, regulators, Yusef, Brian, Joe, and me, guys. Crack them open. Get a little crazy with it. It's been a minute. It's been a little bit. Technical difficulties, lightning strikes, tornadoes. Things like that.
Alligators. An old man like me, he'd have a generator. He could have run that, just him in a small room podcasting with a generator, just as long as he can stay conscious. Just that's the game. How many hot takes can you get out before you drop?
Just with the super white noise in the background. Just
he was believable though, and we
guys anything for the pod.
See, he earned it, and just like that, Joe could have earned an Oscar nomination for the last. I lost my electricity. I can't record tonight, guys. So with that, Robert Downey Jr. and Endgame. Or Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Do they deserve Oscar nomination?
Okay, I didn't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That may be. Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time, that might work. I don't know. I didn't see
the actual article about Tony Stark because I heard it was just the Russo brothers saying it. And that's not like somebody from the trades or anything, right? Like they're still just hyping their movie, right?
Yeah, but they're rattling the fans, and now. Just like they did to squeeze out $3 more out of the Marvel Boys, they want to now get those petitions rolling and the articles and the fake things, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Tony, he died. He deserves like a post-mortem Oscar."
That scene was
and also, I didn't really think about it till now because I was trying to besides die, what did they do that would be Oscar worthy? But they did that big part in the middle with his dad. So you got the daddy issue thing, and then you got his dramatic death. I mean, it is kind of an Oscar role for him, but I don't think he should get an Oscar nod.
No, I mean he's in autopilot, and that's not a knock on him.
The character has always been RDJ. It's never he turned Tony Stark into him. They changed him in the comic. They made him that. So he's never been putting the effort in.
Oh God, The Soloist is such a good movie. Should have got an Oscar from that,
guys. Whatever it takes.
The Judge.
Wait, who played the dad in that? Who was the dad?
Robert Duvall.
Oh, genius! Yeah, he was
We're
so
trivia
good.
boys. Didn't you know? We're trivia boys up in here.
Yeah, guys. I don't want to get harassed by
sunglasses indoors because of my stigmatism, but I am a trivia boy.
Inside the SmackDown.
On this issue of Inside the SmackDown, we're going to talk with Yusef Ganessa and just ask him how his mind thought of this amazing content.
Yusef, speaking of that, have you seen Dora the Explorer yet?
No, but I heard the hormones are oozing out of the screen. Like you just watch that movie and you're just getting slapped with hormones left and right.
Now, I only skimmed the article. Did he use the term budding anywhere in it?
He used throbbing at one point.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Jesus.
So
Like,
worse.
between this and Alan Dershowitz coming out with his, like, hey, 16-year-olds are cool to bang take, like, I can't hack the pedo shit this week. It's too much.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, we should say what we're talking about, right? The Hollywood Reporter,
Who lets that
Todd-
happen?
Todd Pedophile. That's his last name. He at one point he's like, they try to hide her sexuality, but fail to. No, dude, you're the one trying to jack
There's
off.
the
Dora the
The fact
Explorer.
that he's like, they failed, I totally got horny. So.
Oh, I totally. Yeah. I really wanted to see what else was in her bag. That's her thing, right? The bag thing?
Stupid.
The backpack.
Yeah, the backpack.
I really wanted to write her like a backpack. That should have been the line of him.
Jesus.
God, I just like, how does that get published?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, what editor writes it and then go, or I'm sorry, what writer writes it, gets the editor and they go, yeah, let's run with this. 2019, yeah, this is gonna
It
fly.
doesn't matter because it's all about clicks, baby. It doesn't matter
you had
how
to know.
skeevy and disgusting or what horrific thing you've done in your past and like literally ruined your life over. You can get on the back of that and like rise up on a wave of shitty toxicity and hate clicks and just become the man you once were. Like some kind of fucking YouTube Frankenstein, just shitting all over everything.
Just
Honestly,
coming back at the
I feel
right
like
time.
it was written like this. Like, since Michael Bay made this movie, honestly, anytime the door was on screen, I just thought of that scene in Transformers. Was that Megan Fox? I have a boner. Where can I put this?
I feel
Boots,
like that
DTF?
review.
Question mark?
That review should be read out loud in front of like a Deadpool figure and just some Blu-rays.
Some
You got the
Simpsons
Fight
thing.
Club poster.
Yeah.
You got yourself a Boondock Saints.
And-
you know,
And speaking of
And
that,
then blame Dora for making him horny.
right? It's her fault for sure.
For sure.
I mean, like, we all made the joke when those pictures came out of, like, this looks like a porn parody.
yeah.
But you don't put that in your movie fucking review.
Right.
No. And speaking of toxicity, Comic-Con.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say System of a Down.
You guys like Tool? It's just awesome. You know? Do you guys have anything to say about the Comic-Con that dropped, a week and a half ago that unfortunately we weren't able to cover because, you know.
Yeah, we let down all of our fans.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Marvel shit was as expected. Like, cool, they're going to make Natalie Portman Thor. Like,
I'm more excited for
Cool.
Doctor Strange knowing that they're going to try and do a straight up horror movie. Like, that's interesting because I'm on record as not being a huge fan of that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
but didn't you say the first one was supposed to be like horror inspired?
That's right.
And had
I
zero inspiration of it?
I will wait until that is seen.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, but
you
I
said
like
that
the,
before.
I like their
The
that's
sentiment,
direction.
yeah.
If it works out, I like it.
I
I
understand.
feel like when people said, "Oh, hero fatigue," I feel like they were like misrepresenting what was actually happening. What actually was happening is like the connectivity fatigue. I'm tired of everything being connected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I busted my nut with Thanos, and then I'm like, I guess I don't have to watch all this shit. I'm just gonna pick and choose now.
Well, I got a question.
I don't care where it goes from here.
Yeah, well, okay, perfect question. Like, now, at first, I had a huge issue with this thing because at first it was never connected to this huge Marvel universe, and the very last news that Marvel dropped right before it walked off stage was Mahershala Ali doing Blade. They're connecting it eventually. So, of course, I have a strong connection to Blade. I know a couple of you guys have a strong connection to Blade 1, Blade 2. We don't talk about Blade 3 at all. How do you feel about that and it getting into probably not being rated R, being into the universe? Like, at first I was angry, but then, like, you gotta trust people behind Marvel. I don't like a couple of their movies, of course. I've stated before, but they're not dumb.
I'm cool.
So,
with
I
Blade.
feel they correctly put him outside of Phase 4, meaning they have enough time to figure out what the
Yeah.
fuck they actually want to do with it.
yeah.
And I feel, and they also have unfortunately, they have Deadpool. I don't want to see another Deadpool, but that's a huge property. And they have the option of, creating like a separate branch for R-rated superheroes. And
Yeah, I don't think R-rated is out of the question.
Yeah,
and Sony is making
a movie. And I also think you can do a pretty hard PG-13.
Yeah. And Sony
the only one
humans and not just humans. Like, there's a lot more leeway when you're killing a creature and not a person.
Yeah.
And Blade just can't say motherfucker. No, that's for Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that Wesley didn't. He needs a paycheck. What is the only one that kind of intrigued me, but I haven't looked into it. So I guess it didn't intrigue me that much. What is the What If one?
Oh, I don't know if
it's an animated show.
So now this is basically where any type of character, side character, or main character can get its own TV show.
Right.
So
every episode it's all supposedly takes place within the Thanos saga, so within the original, the first 3 phases.
Howard the Duck.
And it's like just like different spin-offs of things that could have happened if things went differently or whatever. So imagine this is where you're going to get like your Marvel Zombies stuff. You're going to get some spin-off stuff that's probably tied that would take the characters from the movies and do comic book shit with them. I imagine.
I have one thing for the Blade 2 is, you think there'll be any connection to the Sony Morbius movie they're making? I hope not, because Jared Leto will be in it.
Depends on how the Morbius movie does.
I doubt it.
Some of those have to be. Only Venom has been successful so far until Morbius that's a viable.
I doubt it, because there's been a lot of rumors that Sony's trying to pry Spider-Man away from them. So I doubt that they were going to give them Morbius.
Yeah, if they work together and somehow what's his name? Jared Leto doesn't scare everybody away with whatever he does. Maybe at some point, if Disney's going to just take everybody in, they'll make a deal that they can do whatever they want and control the outside names. Even if Tom Holland doesn't show up, they can make a mention of them, whatever happens. Because, you never know Venom with Andy Serkis now. Travis Knight was into the thing, too.
I would love Travis Knight for sure.
Yeah, those guys are all in the mix now. So I feel like Marvel has a hand in those directors picking them, because they've worked with both of them before, I believe. So
it would be cool. It would be cool. Sorry, Joe, cut you. It would be cool to see, especially if it's Mahershala Ali, because he's a fucking badass. To see a super dark Spider-Man thing, which is Morbius, and then Spider-Man and Blade.
I think you need for at least the Tom Holland Spider-Man, they need quite a few more movies before they dip into that darkness with him.
But they need to pull away from Iron Man. They need to fully establish him.
They should probably
even the villain in Spider-Man's most recent movie is actually an Iron Man villain.
Yeah. At this time, you should probably go with maybe a B or C-list character that deserves its own show. So, Joe, what do you got with that?
We're getting them. We got WandaVision. You got
dude.
So, guys, my question of the week is with all these Marvel characters getting their own TV shows who really probably don't need it, what is a obscure or side character in a movie that you think should have its own show or miniseries? I want to start with Yusuf.
Oh, so I was thinking about this, not that hard, and I don't know why it immediately popped in my head. It's the first thing I thought about, and that is the hitchhiker from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, played by Tobey Maguire. So this is going to be
literal favorite actor, Tobey Maguire.
Guys, watch episode whatever of Flyover State of Film, or recap.
Watch all of them again. If you've watched it before, go back and watch it again.
I want to say,
so go on. What do you want to see? How many episodes?
Smash that like button, subscribe, hit us in the comments. So this is an anthology series. We can even venture into what happened with him in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But my idea is just he's literally hitchhiking in the West Coast. He's encountering crazy people, and it's just a small 4 to 6 episodes per season. Perfect. And it's him just getting into a car and being dragged into a crazy fucked up situation, and he's just blank staring, fucking out of his mind, doesn't know what the hell is happening, but everything around him is crazy. We could do like a bank robbers dressed as Elvis. We could do psychedelic drugs. We could do whatever we want, because it's like, I think it's like in the 80s, right? 70s, late 70s.
Late
Fear and
70s, I
Loathing?
believe.
Yeah.
Early 80s, late
Yeah,
70s.
Fear and Loathing set in the late 70s.
So your story could be late 70s leading
Yeah,
to...
so it's just like small stories, and it's literally we are the hitchhiker, and we're just being dropped into different stories each season, and eventually we either we start. I wouldn't start with the Fear and Loathing story, but eventually, because this is gonna make millions and millions of dollars in FXXX
a
streaming
Disney property.
service. And this is for sure a Disney Plus show. And eventually we could do the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas storyline.
Cool. TJ, what do you got?
Oh, man. I racked my brain for a little bit for this one. I first want to go with the John Connor's best friend from T2, Budnick. And like
Bobby
what he was
Budnick.
eventually- Yeah, I want him to be I want him to be the eventual savior of America when
You have a weird affinity for redheads. I don't know why.
but
So it's like
Can't
he's the
put my
real John
finger
Connor.
quite on it.
But I decided to go with one of my favorite characters from film of all time, and that's the unhappy maintenance man from Rudy. Let's go back. Rudy has this time. He's going through all these difficult, things, adversity, and all these things going against him, and eventually he meets this one gentleman who hires him and also gives him a place to stay. But this guy is so angry. He's so mad at life. I want to go back and find out why. We get a little taste of him that he eventually played for Notre Dame at some point in time. But basically what I want to do is go back 20 years and do the entire storyline of Rudy, but just replace him with the angry maintenance man in the 50s. And then
It's almost like a reboot cool for Rudy.
Yeah, yes, but also because it's going to be Disney Plus, there's going to be sing pauses. There's going to be a lot of like, ha, 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 why am I angry? And also I'm going to Men in Black 3 it to where you can go back and get that really deep moment of why this guy, he might have been very cheery. Maybe Rudy goes back in time because it's Disney Plus and realizes why he's so upset. He sees something he didn't want to see. He was a very cheerful, happy guy before the time, and then depression took over him, and then he's painting goalposts in the late 70s, 80s.
Maybe he originally played for Penn State, and then he transferred out of there. That's why. That's when he saw shit happen.
There was a lot of things happening, and that coach saw it, and didn't do anything about it.
Hashtag topical.
Got kicked out. Surprise.
We got the pulse on what's happening.
Brian, what do you got?
So I couldn't think of just a single character that I cared about. I was like, no, main characters only. I don't give a shit. But then I started thinking about just movies I love. And then I was like, oh, I know who I want. I want to look at all the townspeople in Punxsutawney on Groundhog Day. So like every episode would be like one of their tangential universes where whatever Phil did actually, like, because we know based on the movie that like even there's universes where he dies and the world goes on. They like look at his body and they're like sad for him. So that means potentially there's a universe where like each one of the times he restarted, that universe went on, maybe even with him in it. So you might have to get Bill Murray for this, but you could just de-age him. You got enough footage of Bill Murray. You could use cuts from the film, and so I think
you get Michael Shannon.
But like,
that's the same. Michael gets Shannon.
Basically, everyone would deal with the consequences of things he's done. So, like, when the one where he tricks the lady into sleeping with him, then like it goes on, and you see his life with her and how that turned out and how that was fucked up. And then, like, the one where he robs the bank and does the weird shit with like, you see like he actually like there's consequences for that. The one where he just freezes to death out in the snow on the highway and shit, trying to get out of there. Whatever. And then
that's an awesome idea.
if the show, well, then I thought too, if the show went on even a little longer, you could really get into some weird, almost like Sci-Fi Channel type shit, and do like how the timeline started to break down and stuff, and like shit, and how they dealt with that. So I got to plan out. I think you could do 5 or 6 seasons on it, probably.
Damn.
I would like to see the bed and breakfast owner dealing with their business just going to shit because somebody committed suicide in the bathroom with a toaster, and nobody wants to go to that bed and breakfast anymore.
Those people in there start a cult based on the fact that they think Bill Murray like can see the future because he's answering all the Jeopardy questions right, and they like start a fucking cult based on that.
I don't know why I just thought about it. Like the
life insurance guy would be the leader for sure.
Like in a Blast from the Past, how that fucking guy starts a cult because he sees Brendan Fraser coming out of the ground.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's a great idea.
It's like mine and Brian's and TJ right now.
So I want to see
right up there. They're very close, very close.
I want to see.
Wait, what?
They're all good. I want to see.
Thanks.
I want to see my man. Lucius Washington, aka Michael Clark Duncan from Talladega Nights.
Ooh.
And just
watched it last night.
And just like an 8-part, like eight episode season of this young African American man working his way in a pit crew who just loves Donna Summer.
I didn't say it. And Joe did.
What?
Nothing. You're good.
I literally said nothing offensive. And
differently.
And
what you think? You just wait till those SJW cucks find this.
He said that for New American.
Hashtag cancel.
Hey, bro, did you even watch the video? She's not gonna fuck you, bro.
there's 2 similarities between me and Joe's.
That was every comment. So anyway, I think that show would be a ton of fun. Clearly, R.I.P. Michael Clark Duncan. But if this is a world where he's still living, and you just have this guy, pit crew, wants to be a race car driver, work down in the pit, but also just loves disco music and likes night singing karaoke down a summer. It'd be very mumblecore-y, but like Talladega Nights-y.
I just watched it last night, and me and my wife were laughing our ass off when Ricky Bobby's like, I hope your kid grows up and he's paralytic. He's like, did you put that in Bobby?
Yeah. I hope your beautiful, articulate sons will one day lose the power of their legs.
But they're not involved in this, so you got no Ricky Bobby, no.
Well, it's leading to it.
Okay. So
it's leading to it.
So
it's like you might get a whiff of it. Like he might be one of the crew members. Like you might skip some of that, but like you could recast Will Ferrell for that one and not like include that part.
The early angry motivator in his early days before he gets to inspire the white character to do his best, right?
Yeah, because let's make it about race.
So you're just copying me.
So Brian, you also inspired me though. I had another idea, which would be really fun. Movie or TV show where it'd be like almost like all the characters from Goodfellas, but you could almost do an episode or a season based off of like that whole every perspective of each goon in Goodfellas. But I guess that's just the Sopranos. So never mind.
I would only watch a Bobby series centered around model trains.
I've watched the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Every episode.
And Bobby beat the shit out of Tony. Facts.
They're facts. So the next subject.
Oh, now that was a transition, baby.
What's more American?
On that first one, but man, look how he came back. So
what's
tight.
More American than
a bad transition?
Bad transition.
Bang, Yusef, go.
So America is not doing great, even though we're trying to make it great again. So we and I'm including myself in there because I'm an American. We need to establish a movie. So when people point to the news or even if an alien lands on Earth and it's like reads the paper for some fucking reason, he like legit pulls a paper, even though there's no papers around anymore. The alien pulls a paper out, and he's like, "Whoa, America's like fucked up." You're like, "No, put down the paper. Watch this movie if you want to learn about America."
Left on his iPhone and sees the news feed.
No, he has a paper, Joe. This is the bit. You gotta and if it, man. So, what movie would you introduce America? Like, what movie is the most American movie you can think about? How about you, TJ?
Oh, you picked the wrong guy to start with.
Gotta set the low bar.
Yeah, set the low bar. At first, I wanted to pick Child's Play. There's a couple of reasons why I want to. The toy. Oh, America, get the best toy in the world, and your parents rush to get it, even though they're a single parent in the world. Then I was like, you know what? American Pie. American Pie, because also we're pieces of shit, and we would do the type of things that happens in American Pie. Even though I love it, it's a really fucking bad movie. So
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
So let's combine them both, right?
Eugene Levy is a national treasure.
Correct. So I tried to
Shannon
combine them both.
Elizabeth
So I went with two
awoken a
American
few
heroes.
things.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. I'm showing them Super Mario Brothers.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
But there's a lot. So basically, I'm taking Child's Play and American Pie and putting them
It's
together.
a
with Super Mario Brothers.
Yo, and then they'd be like, great, just nukes. You guys deserve everything you have right now.
almost are
Clearly
now
obliterate
level
this
with me,
piece of
level
shit
with
rock
me,
getting
guys.
delivered.
Level with me.
Let us hear him out, at least.
Level with me right here. The most popular game from America, probably across the nations, is Super Mario Bros.
Japan made Mario.
But also, you said, don't ruin this. So, what'll happen is...
TJ just said I'm a Mario stan and I love Super Mario.
Yeah, and then Bob Hoskins from England. John Leguizamo is from, I believe...
New York.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, thank you. I was about to say that. I didn't want to ruin it.
He was going to go Mexican Yusuf. Get him!
We put them together, and we basically make the most American movie of all time. And you just add Dustin Hopper in it as playing the Donald Trump, which is happening right now. Very relevant.
Can I counter this?
No, because you're
Because
not.
what you're trying to sell America sounds like you want to show them Batman and Robin.
Okay, yeah, I would love to. Could we?
This is not Geek Wars.
So yeah, Super Mario Brothers. Who's next?
Joe.
Yo, all right. I would love to show them Jaws.
Oh, you want to make them fall asleep? And
I think that is a epitomized America.
Joke and your lazy bit.
You show them the corruptness of the politicians, but the trueness of the American spirit.
You should write a fucking THR article, baby.
And also our need and misunderstanding to go after monsters that are not quite monsters. I think that movie would perfectly encapsulate America to show someone.
Joe, did you write that down? Because that was fucking.
No, I just thought of it today.
Yeah, that was good.
You're trying to one up my Groundhog Day thing, aren't you? You fucking.
And also,
can't let me have even a minute. Can't let me win. Have one round.
It was that or over the top.
Had a good idea.
No, it's Shark Week, and also fuck everybody that watches Shark Week nowadays. You guys are the reason why fucking people hate sharks. You guys stop.
And Shark Week sucks now anyway.
I think the hormonal shark in Jaws is just too much for me to handle.
God damn it.
Okay,
Jaws is fucking horny. That's a horny movie, for sure.
Yeah. Jeez.
Ryan.
Great pick.
Thank you.
Ryan.
Me? Oh, okay. I was thinking about two picks,
Just pick one, just in case the second one is mine.
I can't imagine you would pick either of these movies, Yusuf. I really can't. My pretentious pick is Easy Rider. You know, that's like your quintessential Americana. It's like got a lot of everything. It's it's got the beauty, but it's got the hate. It's thoughtful.
And also, it also has the
you want the sour taste.
It has the backstory of the rebels making a movie because it's fuck it, we're gonna make a movie.
Yeah, man, it's
very
real
American.
and it's raw. But it's got, I just feel like that's a great movie and like I said, it's very American in the way that it looks pretty, but it's seedy and it's not, it's got a lot going on under the surface, a lot of nasty shit going on.
Oh, I like that pick. Stick with that one. Don't ruin it with your second pick.
I'm still gonna say that, but I'll wait till after yours. I'll say
no. Say it. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No,
I doubt that you picked my shitty.
It's got to be if it's like if I'm going from like a patriotic route in the way Americans would want aliens and want foreigners to see themselves.
Yeah,
I would gotta go with The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
Slaps.
We paint foreigners as horrible, horrific monsters. We try to lessen the blow of our own slavery, where our slaves are like, "Oh, it's not so bad here. It's kind of cool." Also, revenge, and, like killing and like solving your problems with violence is like a huge American thing. Plus, we're also like patting ourselves on the back through the whole of it. So that's
what you're saying.
Patriotic pick.
What you're saying is I haven't seen that movie since I was 12 years old, and I probably should revisit it.
Yeah. Also, if you like a movie where most of someone's kids get murdered, that's the movie for you.
Also, where Mel Gibson uses kid soldiers, which is good job.
Top-notch stuff.
Top-notch.
Good parenting. And then he goes all ape shit in front of him and lets him see him like literally be like a wild animal and just like kill and rape and murder.
So
good stuff.
Talking about Mel Gibson's like Wednesday night.
So
Yusef, what was yours? What was your inspiration for this?
I picked Team America, World Police.
Okay, that's a great pick.
That's a great pick. That's very solid.
I don't have to explain it. Next topic. Brian, what do you got?
Thank you,
Yusef. So,
why?
Because of the movie we ended up watching for tonight's episode, and in a way the movie I'm going to pick later for my episode, I wanted to talk about B-movie action stars that we feel like should have gotten a bigger break, should have either like gotten a chance to lead a big budget film or like whatever level you feel like they need to jump up. I mean, maybe they had a shot as like a second banana in a big movie, but you feel like they could have been a lead, or maybe they never hit that level and they always were straight to video, whatever, But that's what I want to talk about. Who do you think deserves some love, and who could have made it? Who could have done it? TJ, go first.
God damn it!
Because I know he didn't like going first last time, so I was like, I'll make him do it again.
Yeah, it makes
funny
sense
to me.
Well, you said action movie, so I can't pick Paul Rudd from Halloween 6 and turn him into this guy who's able to have the suit that makes him go up, like grow in size and stuff like that. So I decided to go with Joe Piscopo.
I knew when he said earlier he might have picked the Joe Piscopo movie that this was coming back.
This guy, I didn't realize this guy he went on SNL as a replacement character for a small amount of time.
Yeah.
And ended up doing these weird movies like I was going to suggest at some point. Dead Heat. One of the movies we picked, maybe episode, I don't fucking know, Sidekicks, where he plays basically the opposite of, God damn it, who's the Karate Kid?
Ralph Macchio?
Ralph Macchio?
Yeah, but the bad guy, Cobra Kai's lead character.
Johnny?
Not Johnny, but the lead karate.
The master.
Solid pick.
Okay, I got it.
They just copy into him. Joe Piscopo deserves to get his own brand.
He plays that role. Isn't he that guy in Sidekicks?
Exactly.
Kind of, yeah.
That's what they did. Like,
he's the wife beater.
He copied him. Yes, yes. So if this guy ever got his own movie in the 80s, early 80s, late 80s, early 90s,
he beat Carrot Top to being the comedian who gets weirdly ripped for no reason. Piscopo started that shit.
I would say.
So you're saying you're going to pick chairman of the board later?
Yeah, and I would
up the hits.
Yeah, and if I had to pick that, I would do him as the Punisher. If we're going to do instead of Dolph Lundgren, replace him with Joe Piscopo. Do that. If you won't do that, if there was a Spider-Man movie in the 80s, I would make him Kraven the Hunter. And then...
It's a good bad guy for now.
Yeah, and then I would cast him as a lead in the Alligator 1980.
I used to love the accent the guy did in the animated series.
It's perfect. So Joe Piscopo
is basically a jacked action character.
You guys remember that episode where it's like Black Cat and Kraven the Hunter? It's a good episode.
Now you're just trying to overtake me.
All right, Yusuf,
I got
what
a
do you
funny
got?
story about Craven. You guys should ask me off mic. None of us will remember, but it's funny. Anyway. No, good one, TJ. Anyway, Yusuf, your turn. Go for it.
When Brian said this topic, I thought he specifically said it had to be a current one. So I went with a current action star that I actually at first I thought about Tony Ya because I really like Tony Ya, but then I saw a movie he made for Netflix and he's really gone downhill. So I'm gonna pass on Tony Ya.
What was it called? Was it The Protector? The Protector.
The Protector and Ong Bank.
Yeah.
The first Ong Bak movie is good, you know.
Yeah.
That's all.
And the two Protectors are good.
Yeah.
The second Ong Bak sucks. So I picked Frank Grillo.
Yes.
He's because people like grizzled white guys as their
You don't
action
think he
heroes.
had his shot, Frank Grillo?
No, he hasn't.
No.
All his.
I mean, he's in The Purge too. That was kind of a
That's
major
the only
release.
one. Yeah, I was gonna bring it up. He carried The Purge, but all his leading roles has been Netflix movies, like The Wheelman, and I think he did Triple Threat now, and he's done like two more, and all of them like he's solid. Like he's the best part of those movies.
He was in the MCU.
As a secondary character.
Another character that they killed off instead of using him to make the Masters of Evil and have Baron Zemo lead like him and Claw and Whiplash and Abomination, and then you could have had that movie, but they've wasted all that potential.
No, but he has actual like dramatic like chops. Like he was in The Warrior with Tom Hardy and Egerton.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
And also he has multiple levels of the fighting game. The guy's been Muay Thai, MMA, karate, like the whole fucking nine across the board. Like he knows everything. So to put him in those,
and he looks good with a gun. Like some people look dumb with a gun. Like there's a lot of, like I saw the new Jack Ryan and fucking Jim from The Office looks like a dumbass with a gun. Like
there's two guys. There's the guy I compare him to, which he deserves a lot more to think to. The BVS guy who holds the Russian. I don't know if I don't bring up
that guy is also in Winter Soldier.
That guy. That's what I'm saying. Like there's Frank Grillo and that guy. That Frank Grillo compared to that guy deserves action.
Callum something. I can't remember that dude's name.
That guy deserves lines. Frank Grillo deserves lines. So like, I completely understand that.
He's a good actor. Like, I'm not saying like he has to be mind blowing, but in like a John Wick type situation, and where you're not required to act that much, you just have to look badass, deliver some good lines every now and again, and hold the gun properly.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah.
That's such a brilliantly written line, guys. What a great line.
It works in the movie.
No. You know what's the better line? It wasn't a dog. It wasn't just a dog.
It wasn't just a dog. No shade on John Wick, though. Those movies are fucking
I love John Wick. Like the one of the most badass moments I've seen in a long time in an action movie, and I've seen a lot of because I love cinema. I love so much movies.
Love cinema.
I just love is when he gets shot and he just goes like this, and all the bullets just fall off of his suit. That's like by far one of the most badass moments in cinema. Cinema. So what about you, Joe? Cinema.
So my pick, I guess, does not fit this, but I want to go with Robin Shou, aka Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, right on.
I'd like to see him get like, or at the time, even more so, get like an even better shot. Like he's just after like Beverly Hill Ninja. He just
Wasn't he Jungle Book, right? Robin Shou.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
No, that was Jason Scott Lee.
No, the Mowgli one.
Either way, like he still appears in like these
the one from the '90s where he was like,
he's in these like direct to DVD type movies, like
He's Beverly
now.
Hills Ninja. I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja, and he's like this comedic relief, and he's actually like that's a pretty decent, like that's a fun movie. Like it's a terrible comedy, but like it has nostalgia to it for me.
Are those the only two movies you can think like?
But I always dug him. I thought you should put him. He should just be in a good action movie, not even like a kung fu movie. Just like his. I almost want to see him in Con Airs, basically.
I can't believe I can't believe Pete didn't say Ernie Reyes Jr. Like, where's his leading role? Right?
He was so jacked. Like he was like uncomfortably jacked.
That's my pick. Like I definitely could have done so much more. He was great as Liu Kang.
Well, no, don't stop there. You can actually do that now. How old is he?
He's probably in his 50s. Maybe a little older.
I feel like he unfortunately was handicapped by being Asian in the 90s.
Yeah. Let's see, Robin Shue.
Now for sure if he would have come out now, for sure he would have like at least gotten a few.
Yeah,
he could have been the villain in Shang-Chi or something.
Yeah, he's almost 60.
Gee,
like I mean, it's not to like
now do they
generalize, but a lot of doors were broken by Jet Li and Jackie Chan. Now there's a lot of crossover with.
Now, don't get me wrong, they're making a more common movie right now, right?
Yeah,
and honestly, that's something.
Shang Chung.
That's something I'd like to see, like completely just done correctly, and not like all these winks and nods. Like
I think something
he stayed up.
You know, not everything needs to be a movie.
And also, he did the voice for Liu Kang for some of the games, it looks like, which is cool.
Oh, yeah, it's a good paycheck.
There's a movie playing near me. It's called Shadow, I think it is. And it's like a hero type movie, Brian. Like a fantasy, like hyperrealized martial arts movie.
Wait,
it looks fantastic.
Is that a Shadow with
I'm into that.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to go see it. It looks fucking great. It's like Shadow.
And you haven't checked out the Crouching Tiger sequel. It's on Netflix. You do yourself a favor and enjoy that shit too. It's good.
Yeah.
Everyone, give a recommendation right now. What are you watching right now?
Oh, Craven, the episode of Craven.
Is nobody going to ask me my own fucking thing?
Who was you?
We're not going to get around to hearing my fucking shit.
Is that what we're doing? Oh, yeah.
Who was you? This is me last time we recorded it, Brian. They just completely thought I picked.
We're about to move on from my topic, and I did not get to I had no input. So I was like, okay, I guess we're done with this.
Yeah, nobody cares about you, Brian.
Everybody's like, oh, everybody had fun with this topic, but they're done. They're done now. No, I thought you guys left a lot of meat on the bone because I mean, like even like somebody like Dolph Lundgren or he
doesn't deserve more than he.
I think Dolph.
Hell no, he could have been a lead coming off a Universal Soldier. He should have been able to do more.
He was the Punisher too.
But I actually went with somebody that I haven't seen enough of her movies. I need to see a few more. But I've always been impressed. Cynthia Rothrock from the 80s. Fucking killing it in like some B-level action movies. Ooh. She's a martial artist. You know, you might need to get her a few acting classes if you're going to move her into a bigger film. But I would love in this era where we're like finally getting legit female action heroes to get somebody like her to kind of. I mean, obviously, I would want to transplant her at her prime to now because I wouldn't want like 60-some-year-old Cynthia Rothrock.
Wow, what an age! I was like, for 3 seconds, I was like, wow, Brian is so woke. He picked a woman, and he's like, no, he has to be hot.
No,
I can't be old.
I want her to be in her prime so she can like physically do the stuff. I'm not. I don't want it to be where it's like hell.
Hashtag cancel Brian. Hashtag cancel Brian. No, cancel Brian. I'm out.
Yeah, you picked her.
I just got all I see is 67.
Talk about her physical prime, you guys.
Anyway,
can you give me like a nice little rendition of what she's been in?
I would have to look up all the names of like because it's all like B.
They're all B movies, like they're real B movies.
DVD, like real B.
Maybe she deserves it, guys.
Movies.
Maybe she.
I see her boobies.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
I'm just saying. A quick Google.
I don't know who she is. What movie is she in?
Nobody knows who she is, but that's the point. Like,
yeah, no, that fits your question.
But you know what? She probably beat the shit out of all four of us.
All right.
Oh, for sure. Even in her 60s, even though
Movies
Brian...
like movies like Lady Dragon and Honor and Glory, Undefeatable, like some real straight to DVD shit.
This is when Brian's age really shows.
Well, yeah, I'm old, but also
You're
I've watched a
28.
lot of shit too. Like not just because I'm old. But anyway,
Because you
Brian,
love cinema, right?
Brian, what year were you born?
1981.
Well, this movie we're about to talk about came out in 1984.
Oh, transition.
Damn it. I was
Damn,
hoping you said
that was
1984, yeah. I was hoping that you went for the, you know what I mean? Guys, I, again, never, ever pick good movies.
No.
So, what I did was I went to my best friend and I asked him what his favorite movie was. And he said, I'm surprised you never...
That's weird. You never texted
Explain why
me.
we're not talking about Alligator before we get into this.
Yes, okay, sure. So...
I mean, we've got fans who follow so closely. They're going to wonder. They're going to be like salivating for our hot content, and they want to know why we're not talking about Alligator. They watched the last episode. They probably rewatched it before this one.
So, Steph, we were going to watch Alligator from 1980, then 1987. I think the second one came out. So, Yusef, hit me with your Alligator questions because we weren't able to talk about that movie. One of our hosts.
My power was out for 3 days, all right?
Yeah.
And then I literally thought the movies were so fucking forgettable that I couldn't bring up anything to talk about. So I demanded.
I'm just going to ask one question.
Ask the question, baby.
There's one question because I have a lot.
And everybody, Joe, Brian, you all watch the movies, I hope. You guys are open to answer this question.
I watched both of them. I don't remember anything.
Right.
Except for the plug thing that I told Joe earlier.
I don't remember shit.
I have everything here. But is there...
So Willem Dafoe looks so young.
Yeah, he looks like a BDSM farmer.
That's the question.
Oh, is there a hamster sequel to this? Because in the beginning, they're gonna flush the crocodile, and she's like, "Oh, he's gonna notice." And he's like, "No, we're just gonna handle it just like the hamster." So the only reason that the crocodile is a killer is because he's in the sewers with the chemicals. So is there a killer hamster as well?
So unfortunately, Yusef, I don't know how it works in Puerto Rico, but hamsters...
You gotta play the race card?
Yeah, hamsters drown very easily when they're underwater. Alligators, amphibians, are able to breathe at some point, and they're able to last underwater. So, hamster dies, alligators...
But also, alligators have a short...
Welcome to the part of the podcast where you just fast forward ahead so we could talk about Streets of Fire.
But alligators build up like...
I'm sorry I brought this up, guys.
They have like a 5-second... They have like a 5-second window before their muscles clam up. So that's why they tell you to zigzag if an alligator is attacking you, because they have like a very short window before they just like literally paralyze for seconds. So if you're gonna use logic here, your fault here. So because the alligator never clamps up during this movie.
Hamsters are little fat furry pigs.
So guys, the Fire of the
Streets. You didn't want to talk about those movies because they
suck.
Yeah, and there's a moment where he says native black guys. This is a very weird moment in that movie too.
Native black, yeah. That movie was terrible. Truly.
The Fire, there are only the coolest of black guys in this movie. So, guys, I picked a great movie.
Why in the second one they kept calling him the Solo Lobo? What the fuck was that?
The Lone Wolf.
Yeah, but why? Well, why did he get a cool nickname in Spanish?
He took down Steve Railsback and he saved the town. He saved the rec center or whatever. Anyway, so guys, we watched Streets of Fire, 1984's Streets of Fire.
Diane,
I think this is the cool thing. It's the first time it was a movie none of us had ever seen. Just that's a first for us.
Yeah, it was really fun.
This movie and music video, because you gotta fucking add that in, because this is not just a movie, this is a music video. This felt like I was back in my MTV days.
I counted 4 songs, full songs played.
But it's not four
Well,
songs. Like,
there's one at the
it's
very
like four
beginning,
full
and
songs.
then there's
That's what I'm
two
saying.
at the end. So how
Yeah.
many are in the bulk of the movie?
And then there's one mid-movie, I think,
Yeah, no, there's
when they're at the club.
yeah. So there's the intro song, the mid song, and there's two at the end. So
Yeah,
And
when
they're-
they're
I
at
need
the
to-
back.
I tweeted
Yeah.
about it. That
And
fucking
guess what?
first song got me pumped.
They're
That first song got me pumped up.
Good. You're like, is this
that
Meatloaf?
last song.
I
With
did. I was like,
bro?
it sounds like Bad Out of Hell. Did Meatloaf? I went to IMDb.
Okay.
Did Meatloaf do the music? One of those
Let's-
obscure things I just never knew.
So let's
He did not.
Let
I
me give
did
you guys
look who
the intro.
did produce
Set up the
music,
movie so we can talk about it.
I'll set up the movie,
What
guys.
is this movie about?
Jimmy Iovine.
Hey, no, not
from
you, me,
Beats.
guy.
It's-
All right,
it's-
relax.
This is show.
Described as a rock and roll fantasy.
This movie takes place anywhere at any time. It
Did they
has-
actually say that shit at the beginning?
yeah. Well, also that and Double Dragon, and then me and Joe know about that. Last shit. It literally has no distinction. It just starts off anywhere, anytime. But basically, you kind of get that. I'm pretty sure it's filmed in Chicago.
It
Yeah,
is. It
Yeah.
is.
But makes it seem like it's in New York.
The filmmaker, I was reading, the filmmaker was like very patting himself on the back, being like, well, I think this was a precursor to RoboCop. They took a lot of my ideas.
Not mad at that because also there's literally the
Bold
same cars, the same scenes, the same sets, and all of the scenes. So basically, you start off with a very long glam rock scene.
And it is awesome.
Yeah, Diane Lane, lip
rad.
syncing, and also who wrote this was God damn it,
I have
the
that
big,
video.
big popular rock star at the time. Pat.
Jimmy Buffett.
No, it's a female. Pat
I've heard of
Benatar,
it.
I'm pretty sure wrote all these.
That
songs.
makes sense.
Yeah, she wrote
Paramore.
all of them. Yeah, Paramore wrote all of these songs, and then eventually Diane Lane just lip synced them. And then
Diane Lane would not win a lip syncing battle.
Yeah, it was pretty
so
bad, but
bad.
like, it's Diane Lane. She really could do no wrong.
So you give this
She did
giant
wrong here.
with Rick Moranis in the background, he's just a manager, but we don't know at the same time that he's dating the lead singer of the band, which is just like a weird thing.
Oh, you know he fucks.
No, I mean, yeah, sure, but so if Louis Tully got a fucking backbone and just like, you know what? Fuck the Ghostbusters. I'm gonna sue everybody myself. Like, that's not how it works. So basically, you got that, and then William Dafoe runs on stage with his entire band and kidnaps the band.
That's so
He
Raven.
just like out of the middle of a crowded venue. He just like they just like, take him out of there.
Dude,
That's so Raven.
the fucking Rick Moranis in this movie was amazing.
He was probably one of the best characters in that.
He sucks.
You're just such an asshole, and I just like seeing Rick Moranis play that character because it was like
I'm sorry. I guess I'm the only one that didn't
I've
buy
never
into it.
seen before.
All right, so he steals Diane Lane. The fucking farmer badass comes in.
And you got the girl from the Warriors,
Yeah,
Reba.
Which makes sense because this
Yeah,
movie
Amy
was
Nicholson.
directed by Walter Hill, who directed
Yeah.
The
no, not
Warriors.
Amy Nicholson, someone else, Joe.
oh
he
yeah,
has a great filmography.
Yeah, so basically she does
don't
this
know
whole thing where she writes her. It's her brother.
Yep.
Her brother saying like, "Hey, I need you back in this thing," and he comes on the train, and they do the classic like, "There's goons on the train making trouble, and he has to beat the shit out of 6 guys in one," and you know that he's a badass. What's his name, Joe? Mike Perrier.
oh yeah, Mark Perrier.
You know what I love? You know what I love about this like old movies that nobody knows about is watching the lead fade into the background through time, and then the supporting cast become like huge fucking stars, like
Yeah.
Diane Lane, Willem Dafoe. Everybody just blew past the fucking lead.
because every single one of
Well,
his
the
lines.
reason that this guy didn't get brought up during our last discussion, nobody wants to see him in anything else.
Yeah.
He sounded like Sylvester Stallone.
and
He
all
looked
their
Stallone,
lines are
dubbed
what,
his
like
voice.
10
He sounded like he had like a mic in his ear, and he was just repeating because his delivery was just god awful. Wait,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'll say the cutscenes are probably one of the worst parts about the film. Is like these weird intercuts.
The
When
credits?
you think your fucking
Yeah,
TV
the credit-
broke?
Yeah, perfect. Go with the credits.
The PowerPoint credits that
It's such a forever.
with the animation that was just
Honestly, you're giving PowerPoint a bad name.
Every single cutscene was just like this weird, like zigzag down the center.
I didn't get it. Like, I had a lot of fun with this movie, but it was like, if you weren't paying attention, you looked over and like when that happened with Willem Dafoe, I'm like, is he like magic? No.
I fucking love his hair.
We didn't talk about how he hooks up with Amy Madigan's character from Field of Dreams and Uncle Buck, and she's like a woman soldier, and
she's
constantly
reviewing
having
movies
to prove that she's good at what she does. Like nobody believes her, and Rick Moranis keeps calling her toots and skirt, even though she looks like a dude. She's all butched out. She's all like
she's Alex,
like full on like trucker overalls, and he's like, "What's up with the skirt?" You know,
Brian. She's Alex Borstein's character from Marvelous Miss Maisel.
No, but you skipped over
I've
two.
never watched that show. I don't know.
Oh, so good. You skipped over two critical things though. One, she beats Bill Paxton, which is awesome.
Yep.
I love Bill Paxton in this.
Bill Paxton's hair. This movie could have used way more Bill Paxton. Like you didn't utilize him nearly enough.
And the second one was the trope where like the guy's gonna save the store by stopping the thugs, and then just literally just destroys the store with the thugs. Like the thug is like, "I'm gonna destroy your fucking restaurant," and he just starts throwing people through windows. It's like, all right, dude, you destroyed this. You accomplished.
The best part about that is that finally the chick from the Warriors is like says something, and he's like, I owe you a drink. She's like, how about buying me a window back from my fucking bar?
That's his sister, right? That's supposed to be his sister.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. But he also does the whole thing where when he meets Amy Madigan, who also is Uncle Buck's girlfriend.
Amy Nicholson.
Yeah, Amy Nicholson. She does the whole thing where he gets in the car and she's like, I need somewhere to stay. And he's like, so you're looking for a tumble? Like, perfect 80s
amazing
lingo. Just like she's like, no.
Well, I love when like a movie that's supposed to be like an alternative future tries to like guess what slang would be in like a weird post-apocalypse, and they make up weird shit. That's great. That's great world building.
You know what scene like fucking made me laugh out loud is when the chick didn't know that pro wrestling was fixed, and she's like, wait, he's gonna lose, and the dude is like, yeah, stick with me.
You're talking about Alligator again. You knocked that shit off. Alligator
sorry.
2. Talking about Alligator again.
My bad.
I'm mad that you made me remember that. That's your
my
fault.
bad.
I remembered.
I was gonna say, what about the white
Alligator?
And black cop?
Everyone wants to watch Alligator.
I was saying, what about the white and black cop?
He's going to bring it back on his next pick.
And I'm not talking about Alligator because there is a white and black cop, but these two white and black cops who have to like, one of them is playing the straight edge guy who knows the guys in the neighborhood, and the one's playing the fucking uptight.
And what was Orlando Jones?
Move, I'll shoot you.
So the white guy is playing a real cop who will shoot you with no provocation, and then the black guy is playing a fantasy that does not exist.
Hey, listen, they're going to kill you. Do me a favor. Leave the neighborhood because they're going to kill us all if you don't. And guess what he does? The guy shows up like an asshole. And also, can we get to that? Okay, so this entire movie is based around a female lead, a male lead, one separated from the other over years of whatever they had to go through. Then one finally comes back and has to like own up to him leaving her, but she had to own up to her leaving him for her own things. Eventually they make love and they get back together. Hey, Brian, what happens next?
After they have sex, there's a sledgehammer fight.
No.
Before that.
They wake up in fucking bed and they are dripping wet. Have you ever gone in bed after the shower? It is miserable. I don't care what they are. Get a towel.
After that.
No. I'm going back. I'm going back to that, TJ. They go out and they make out in the rain, and then they just immediately go in and fuck, and then they stay in the covers all wet. Yeah. Who's doing that laundry?
Joe, you clearly haven't had a passionate wet fuck.
Yes.
But we have to talk about when he puts Diane Lane's lights out. That when he just punches the shit out of her out of
We didn't
nowhere.
talk about him going. We skipped so much. We didn't talk about him going to save Diane.
No, we're
Lane
gonna
from
talk
the-
about everything in this fucking movie. Everything.
We didn't talk about how the
yeah.
fact that my wife is just like coming in casually and she's like, "Why did Willem Dafoe kidnap her?" There's no reason.
Oh, he's gonna fuck her.
Only have sex with her. No ransom.
For like
She's like
2
famous,
weeks.
but that doesn't matter. He says like, "If you'd have done this willingly, we could have just had some fun, and then I'd have let you go." Like, so you kidnapped her just literally, but he kidnapped her literally only to have sex with her, but has not had sex with her yet, and just has her tied up.
Can I read?
What?
Can I read?
Seducing her, man. He's not gonna rape.
Can I
He's
read the
seducing.
one quote on Wikipedia from the New York Times? This criticized the film screenplay as being misogynistic and problematically crude.
Yeah, but are you saying
So,
that when this
sure.
guy's sitting on the roof and knocking out 4 motorcycles at a time?
You're saying no. Do you know what's problematic about this movie? The fact that our lead falls back in love with Diane Lane because he sees her through a window, tied up to a bed, and then they play romantic music over it. Like, oh my god, the love of my life.
Yeah, just the
She's
way I
out there.
left her.
Also, Ebert loved it.
And also, he
Ebert's
that's
got
not true.
class, man.
He did not fall back in love with her because also after he saves her, and we get to where I'm talking about, he gives her over to, well, god damn it, he gives her over. He says, go with Rick Moranis if you want to, and she does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in a her and Rick Moranis were in a relationship, and Moranis pays him, and that's the whole thing. She's happy to see him, and then she finds out that he got paid, and it like spoils it for her.
We can talk about that scene though. He goes into the room, gets paid. He takes the $10,000, takes 1,000 out because originally when he goes into this to fight everybody, he offers what's her name?
He's gonna go in alone, but his friend Amy.
Yeah, so he offers her $1,000 and says, "Hey, if you come into me, this is what you get." Takes the 9,000, throws it at Rick Moranis, takes the 1,000, says, "This is what I owe it to Amy," and leaves.
Because he's got class.
And it
Our man
shows
got class.
the character. It shows the character.
Yes,
He's a
ethics.
character.
Yep, and that's when
He's the type of man that would wear a button up
You know who I
without
trust?
sleeves and a jacket.
You know I trust more in this role and who I would have wanted to see as the lead? Fred Decker.
Oh,
This was made for Fred Decker.
okay, Fred Durst.
No, but we're gonna watch a Fred Durst movie in the coming months. But that's
Is it me? Is it me or is that motorcycle gang keeping the gasoline industry alive?
And the leather.
There was
the reliance on vehicles and like weird that's very like there's a lot of very Mad Max stuff going on here. It's funny that the director thought RoboCop stole from him when he is so obviously stealing from Mad Max.
This is when every American director tried to have their own Mad Max. This Escape from New York, Waterworld, Tupac's California, Love.
Rules. That's awesome.
So
and also, there's that one movie with John Stamos and Gene Simmons that's like a post-apocalyptic. Like that's a great one.
So
guys, Diane Lane won a Razzie.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Suck my dick. With
Yeah, so basically, she gets knocked out. She gets knocked out on the train, and then the lead goes to fight Willem Dafoe in the streets, midday Chicago, for whatever. Also,
yeah, he pulls a real Demolition Man on her, where he knocks her unconscious for her own good. You know,
you get all the squares. Bill Paxton.
You silly fucks. There is a unofficial sequel to this starring the lead.
What?
Called Road to Hell.
Nope.
Came out 2008.
Nope, not watching that. That's too late. That's 24 years later. No, thank you.
That's not good. That can't be good.
Not be good.
I'm looking it up.
Gotta be 58.
Can we talk about the Sledgehammer fight because that is so Raven.
Perfect. Thank you. So basically, Diane Lane gets knocked out by her now future love that she just fell back in love with, and he fell back in love with her. But at the same time, he had to knock her out, so to save her. So he goes to fight William Dafoe in the streets
Raven.
of Chicago. And William Dafoe
Raven,
takes out
what's that?
Sledgehammer.
Like Stockholm.
Yeah, it was, and also the nice black cop goes, "What the fuck?
Why's he gotta be
He's
black?
like, why are we Why is this happening right now? Like, I told you to go home." So now sledgehammers are involved, and you get Thor versus Loki, basically.
Yeah.
Dude, that hammer fight was so anticlimactic.
I don't know. I think it
No,
felt
I
very.
like that hammer fight was tight. That was
It was
sweet.
tight. It was fun.
I
I was into that hammer fight.
I feel that the anticlimactic part was when he just pushed Willem Dafoe down, but that's so Raven.
Yeah.
So
And then they got down to fists. It's basically the Rocky V fight. Tommy Gunn versus Rocky Balboa. And also, Joe said to me in the very first fucking moments he watched, he's like, I'm pretty sure the lead is being fucking overdubbed by Sylvester Stallone.
So what it sounded like.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you basically, I gotta leave you alone right now.
we skipped.
go.
You were fun with her.
The
You
bus
tell her.
sequence, the black guy
Yes.
band.
Yes, the band. The best part of the movie is the band.
I mean, that band was good, but I felt like it was missing
Oh yeah, they're
a
the best
white
part of the movie.
guitarist.
What was the name of the band then, guys? They say it
Nope.
several times.
The Soblars.
I don't know. The Orlando Joneses.
Sobliers.
The
They
back
did that song. It's like, walking on sidewalk.
But what I want to know is,
Temptations.
why didn't they just end it with the songs and then have the concert over the credits? Like I thought it was over.
No,
Why not end it with the
I
fucking
like
sledgehammer
it.
fight?
Keeping with the tone, like it's a rock opera. It's it should end with a big song. I'm fine with that. And
No, not that it ended with the
and
song.
when the
Why
fucking band
didn't
came out to
it
join
end?
her at the end when they're all singing together, that was like the end of Endgame for me.
No,
Like a portal should have opened up backstage and those dudes should have walked out and then they all sing together.
No, Brian,
Peter Man,
what I'm
got
saying
Bubba Gum
is,
and some other dudes.
what I'm saying is that was the
Peter
perfect
Man.
ending. I didn't need the tack on of the lead being like, nah, fuck Diane Lane and driving off with Amy Nicholson.
That
Like I
oh,
just
there's more
found-
Mad Max shit. They have the Fury Road ending where like I'm not gonna stay. I'm a rogue. We each gotta do our own thing. I'm out of
Yeah.
here.
You
That's-
mean they had the Drive Angry ending?
no one saw
No, I definitely don't mean that.
Also-
Watch that episode of Flyover State of
Did
Ville.
anyone realize that they called every character in the movie a juvenile delinquent?
No, they were so old. I
Yeah,
didn't
they
pick
were
up
like-
on that.
Everybody was definitely in their 30s.
They're like 25 plus. It's like one of those things. You're like, why you fucking call them juvenile delinquents?
Oh, according to my notes, sorry. The right hand man of Willem Dafoe is the guy from Clue. It was driving me crazy. Like I was
Mr.
watching the
Bonnie,
movie.
right?
Yeah, I was watching the movie. It's like, where the fuck I haven't seen this guy? And I had to Google him.
He's the dude who finally gives Rick Moranis a punch in the face, which is so desperately needed. It's like Rick Moranis is supposed to be on the good guys team, but he's so unlikable that when one of the bad guys hits him, you cheer.
I couldn't buy into his persona.
I just thought it was so funny. Like, it's Rick Moranis. It's Wayne Zielinski.
And I didn't buy into the main guy either. Well,
You said
Like that role, you know what the role of Rick Moranis was supposed to be? It was definitely supposed to be like, we need Joe Pesci.
Ooh, here's a quick question.
I'm not mad
Who
about
would you have cast in 1984 in that role? Like, think about your budget and shit. So you can't cast anybody too big.
Oh,
but in
I can't.
1984, who do you put in that role to make that movie good?
Bob
For
Hoskins.
Rick Moranis?
No, in the lead.
Oh, the main
Oh,
role.
the lead.
The lead.
Joe Piscopo.
Like recast it in 1984. Like, who do you put in there?
Brad Dourif.
Like, I think Emilio would have been young and tough.
Yeah.
That's Breakfast Club age.
When
like,
did Top Guns come out?
That's just Free Jack.
Okay, fair.
Or no, was it not Top Guns, Young Guns. When did that come out?
Yeah,
Young Guns
no,
is
that's late. That's like 86,
Young Guns 2 is
87.
like 92. So the first Young Guns is like late 80s.
Alright.
I would have put Mel Gibson.
I'm just trying to. Oh, Val
You
Kilmer.
can't afford Mel
You probably
Gibson. You
could've got a
gotta
young
think
Val
smaller.
Brad
Mel
Dourif.
Gibson was on his
Yo,
second
Val Kilmer.
at
You could have
Max
got a young Val Kilmer.
that same year. Well, 2 years before. So he wasn't
No, you
making
get-
money.
You get You get Val Kilmer like a year before Top Gun.
Yeah, I'm into that. Pat Swayze, 84 Pat
Yeah.
Swayze would have been tight.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Pat Swayze.
Also, you got to realize, like,
That's
people.
before he hadn't really broke big yet, so he could got him. He could have got it for this.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Ooh, Whoopi.
Got
She
it.
would've-
Yeah.
But she was doing the color purple.
Rating phase, guys. Hey, Yusef, give me this. How about I don't know. Give me 10 streets out of 10 fires.
How many streets of fire?
I'm gonna give it 5 white people saying to the black guys they had to sit in the back of the bus.
Damn, that bus scene is rough. Yo, what do you got?
I am going to give it 7.3 dueling hammers.
Oh, that's good too. Brian, what do you got?
Yeah, like I don't want to give it like I'm trying to balance it out of like how low were my expectations versus
That's what
how
I mean. My
good was it.
expectations.
How good
were
was
in
it
the
actually,
dumpster.
or how like am I just giving it a rub because TJ's picks are always so bad? Like, so I'm trying to be objective here, but I legitimately think I could get it to like a 6.5, and like I think I really enjoyed it. The music was tight. I like the premise. I like the weird like 80s punk vibe to it. It very much was reminding me of Warriors, and obviously now I see why, because the dude directed Warriors. So I was kind of into it.
We did mention the game hunters that they hire to come into town and try to kill.
Dude, there's a lot to this.
The alligator.
Like this could be a full How Does It Get Made episode for them.
I appreciate that. And also,
you guys want to comment on the game?
Steal our hashtag content and get and get a billion views off it or listens or whatever.
So
I know everybody's gonna flock to this episode.
I'm gonna give this.
Well, it is a Bruce Springsteen song. That's what it's named after.
I'll give this a 6.1 out of Alligator 1 and a 6.2 for Alligator 2.
Nice.
So, guys, I'm at TJ Dex. You're on YouTube now at Flyover State of Phil.
Wait, you're Brian. What's your pick?
Well, I was gonna. Well, that wasn't. Yeah.
He was gonna lead into it. I had faith in you, TJ.
No,
I knew you would forget. I knew you were getting
super.
It's all right.
Super producer over here.
That episode with Craven and Black Cat is very good because Black Cat helps out Spider-Man a lot in that episode.
That's my guy.
Do you know that Craven is actually Russian?
Yep.
Brian, what do you got for next week, buddy? Or next 2 weeks?
And he's actually involved with a lot of Black Panther, and that's like they've been trying to push him into Black Panther.
I could see that. That's a crossover I could see.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my episode next in 2 weeks, I guess. I was thinking we lost a legend over the last couple days, Rutger Hauer, R.I.P. And there's a lot of like big Rutger Hauer movies you could pick, and we could talk about some classics. And there's some smaller like beloved cult movies too. But I wanted to talk about one that I have enjoyed since I was a teenager. It does kind of tie in with my pick this week, where it stars someone that I thought could have maybe been an action star. They've done fine elsewhere in their lives, musician, television, but this guy made an impression, and this movie's got a great cast, and I'm talking about Surviving the Game, Ice-T, Rutger Hauer, John C. McGinley, Gary Busey. We're talking about Hunting the Homeless. Let's get down to it, baby.
You say no more.
Do it.
I'm looking where to find it.
I just know that next episode is Joe's, and I'm like, I had to see 3 TJ movies. Now I have to see this bullshit movie from Brian.
Have you ever seen Surviving the Game?
And then Joe is coming up.
Are you judging? You're just prejudging me after?
Hey, Yusuf, maybe I have a good pick.
Everybody?
Maybe I have a good pick. Also, guys, you can find Surviving the Game on Vudu if you want to watch with us. It's free. It seems to be only free on Vudu, but we all have streaming services, so we should have no problem.
I'll be watching it on a DVD that's in one of those weird cardboard cases that like were like the generation, where the little end flipped over and then you opened it up.
Yeah, it's gonna.
That's how long this one's been in the bunker a very long time.
That's gonna look like shit
Start a
too.
podcast. It will be fun.
Okay, guys. Well, you can
Brian.
find me
Yeah, okay, you go.
at the DVD bunker.
Hey, that's my
Every
show.
goddamn week. Oh shit, that's right. You can find me on Chandango. Getting told why I shouldn't, why I'm wrong for not liking the Schmodown anymore. And just generally being a little brat. So
Brian, where you at?
Oh shit, man! I mean, you can find me on Twitter at Hercules. I'm always white knighting because having empathy it gets you so much punene. So you can catch me in an SJW.
dude, she's not gonna fuck you.
For hot ass. That's what I do. You can search DVD Bunker. I had a bunch of episodes of that show. Lots of movies. Some you probably never even heard of. Check them out. And I think that's it. You can find me here. Aside from that.
Yusef, where you at, baby?
Oh, I'm here. Hashtag Flyover Film. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Comment
You
down
could also
below. At Why I Love Movies on Twitter. And whyILoveMovies.com. I haven't written a review in a while. But you can... There's 400
there's some
plus.
good reviews on there.
Yeah.
Hey, people discover movies every day, you know? Like,
You want to read the review about Robert?
Nope.
It's
Hey guys,
perfect
you can find me TD Dex. You're on the Flyover State of Film YouTube right now. Hey guys, good night. Have a great day.
watch The Sisters Brothers.
Bye.